From your prior studies, you might recall the Cartesian plane. You start by drawing up the axes. The x-axis runs horizontally and the y-axis runs vertically. The top right quadrant is referred to as quadrant 1, top left quadrant 2, bottom left quadrant 3, bottom right quadrant 4. The center is referred to as the origin. You always graph a point starting from the origin. You plot the points on the graph by first finding the x-coordinate and then by finding the y-coordinate. Points are written in the form open bracket x, comma, y, close bracket. Let's quickly plot a point 2 just 3, or x coordinate 2, y coordinate 3. First of all, you move 2 coordinates to the right on the x-axis because 2 is positive, so you move in the positive direction. Then you move 3 coordinates up the y-axis because 3 is positive. And that's your point plotted. Remember that the x-axis usually represents the independent variable and the y-axis usually represents the dependent variable. Now we've plotted the point. In order to graph a line, we need to know 2 bits of information. We either need to know a point on the line and the slope, or we need to know 2 points on the line. Here I've got the table from our taxi example where it was $5 entry and $2 per kilometre. On the left you'll see the table that we used, but on the right you'll see a graph of the cost of the taxi, the total cost. You'll notice that we can extract data from the chart that we couldn't from the table. You'll notice that we might be able to say, what is 3.5 kilometres travelled? How much is that going to cost? From the chart, we can tell that that costs about $12. We wouldn't have been able to easily pull that from the table. And if the example was more complicated, it'd be far easier to use a chart than it would be to use a table.